Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum grade 6 students. How are you all? I hope you all are fine. Dear student, this is your science online class. Today we are going to start our first unit, which is science skills. The topic we studied today is pie charts. A pie chart is another way of showing information as a picture. The size of the Celsius in the pie chart indicate the proportions of a numerical data. This pie chart shows the proportions of the student liking each season of the year. What is pie chart? A pie chart is a type of circular chart in which values are given in a percentages. This graph shows the proportion of the students liking each season of the year. The red part shows students liking summer season 50%, students liking winter season 25%, students liking spring season 16%, and the students liking autumn season 9% of the year. Doing a scientific investigation, a science investigation has three main parts. First one is preparation, second one is carrying out the investigation, while the third one is reviewing and reporting on the investigations. Suppose you wanted to find out if sugar dissolves more quickly in hot water than in cold water. The three parts of the investigation are as following. The first one is preparation. This involves writing down what you accept to happen. This is called the hypothesis. The aim of your investigation is to test your hypothesis. For example, you could write sugar dissolves more quickly in hot water than in cold water. In this passage, we'll learn what is hypothesis. When you answer a question about what you think will happen in science experiment, you have write a hypothesis. Hypothesis is an educated guess or a guess you make based on information you already know. After you make a hypothesis, then comes the really fun part, doing the science experiment to see what happened. Being aware of variables. Variables are the things that change and can usually be measured or observed. You should only change one variable at a time and see how it affects other variables. If you change more than one variable at the same time, it will not be a fair test. This variable is in this investigation are the amount of a sugar that we use, the amount of the water, the temperature of the water, whether to stir the sugar in the hot or cold water. Carrying out the investigation, this involves using the equipment you have chosen to measure things like distance, time, weight, area, volume, and temperature accurately. In this investigation, you will need to measure the volume of a sugar, the volume of a water, the water temperature, the time taken for the sugar to dissolve. Choosing the most appropriate way of recording your results. Writing your result in a table is probably the best way to record them in this investigation. इस टेबल से हमें ये पता चल रहा है कि जैसे जैसे हमने टेम्परेचर को इंक्रीज़ किया है, ठीक है, जैसे जैसे हमने टेम्परेचर को इंक्रीज़ किया है तो हमारा टाइम जो हुआ है वो क्या हुआ है, डिक्रीज़ हुआ है. मतलब अगर टेम्परेचर ज़्यादा होगा तो कम टाइम लगेगा शुगर को डिज़ोल्व होने में. Reviewing and reporting on the investigation. This involves writing up what you did and what happened during your investigation, including diagrams of your apparatus. For this investigation, plotting a graph is a good way to show if your readings follow a pattern. इस टेबल को ही उन्होंने इस ग्राफ में एक्सप्लेन किया है कि अगर हमारे पास जो टेम्परेचर है वाटर का वो 80 डिग्री है तो हमारे पास जो टाइम लगा है डिज़ोल्विंग में वो कितना लगा है, हाउ मच टाइम, 20. ठीक है, हाउ मच टाइम, 20 मिनट्स. अगर हमारा टेम्परेचर जो है वो 80 पे है. इसी तरह अगर हमारा टेम्परेचर 50 पे है वाटर का, तो जो टाइम लगा है डिज़ोल्विंग में वो कितना लगा है, 30 मिनट्स लगा है। इसी तरह अगर हमारा जो टेम्परेचर है वाटर का वो तकरीबन 43 पे है, तो हमें कितना टाइम लगा है, 40 मिनट्स लगा है। इसी तरह अगर हमारा जो टेम्परेचर है वो 35 है मतलब वाटर का, तो जो टाइम लगा है डिज़ोल्विंग में वो कितना लग रहा है, 50 लग रहा है। इसी तरह अगर हमारे पास टेम्परेचर जो है वो वाटर का वो 20 डिग्री सेल्सियस है, तो हमें जो टेम्परेचर लग रहा है डिज़ोल्विंग में वो 60 मिनट्स लग रहे हैं। दिस ग्राफ एक्सप्लेन that when we increase the temperature of a water, then the time taken for dissolving a sugar is decreases. Explaining your results and saying whether your hypothesis was correct or not. In this case, the hypothesis is correct. Sugar does dissolve more quickly in hot water than in cold water. This is called your conclusion. It is what about you as a result of your investigation. In this passage, we learn what is conclusion. Conclusion is a sentence or a paragraph that is the final part of a result, suggesting how you could improve your investigation to make it more accurately. For example, you could measure the volume of a sugar more accurately with a measuring cylinder. Suggest what you could do if you had more time. For example, you may like to find out if you will get the same result what different kinds of sugar. Example, what will get the same result? Brown sugar take less time for dissolving as compared to the white sugar. Test yourself. Look at the line graph above. A. What was the temperature of the tea at the start? Answer, 60 degree centigrade. B part, how long did it take for the temperature of a tea to fall to 30 degrees centigrade? Answer, 2 minutes. What was the temperature of a room where this experiment was carried out? Answer, 20 degrees centigrade. We know when we have a cup of a tea and put it into a room temperature, then we see the temperature of a tea becomes stable. Here, this stable means there is no rise and fall in temperature, and the stable temperature is 20 degrees centigrade. Question 2. Look at the pie chart. A part, which is the most popular season of the year for this group of the student? Summer, 50%. Answer. Which proportion of the student choose spring as their favorite seasons? Answer, 16% spring. This data came from the student, 40 student. How many students choose winter as their favorite season? Answer, 10 students. Question 2C. आंसर 10 कैसे हुआ कि जैसे हमारे पास एक पाई चार्ट था, हम इस एग्जांपल से इस सर्कल से एक्सप्लेन करते हैं कि हमारे पास एक पाई चार्ट है, उसको हमने 2 इक्वल हाफ्स में क्या किया, डिवाइड कर दिया। 20% राइट साइड पे आ गया, 20% लेफ़्ट साइड पे आ गया। फिर हमने क्या किया कि राइट साइड के जो 20% हाफ था उसको दोबारा हमने 2 इक्वल हाफ्स में डिवाइड कर दिया। जब हमने दोबारा 2 इक्वल हाफ्स में डिवाइड कर दिया तो कितना हो गया, 10 and 10. So that's why the answer is 10 students. Today's diary is learn, test yourself on page 10.